Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing on this fine Monday morning? Good morning, Wavy. Good morning, Jacob. Good morning, Ken. Pre-market fake out or dump? Well, we shall find out. I'm going to be watching for the rollover play. Looks like we're getting a little pop early, and then so I'm really going to be watching to see what happens at the open. Good morning, Fall. VIX is climbing. We'll peek at that. Good morning, Abraham. Good morning, Davey. Wow, lots going on today. Good morning, Genomic Stock. It looks like Twitter couldn't find a better offer. Elon will close the deal today. I bet you there's still a shop clause in there, Wavy. They'll keep shopping it. Bet you Goldman's not dumb. They should probably put in a shop clause that'll have a time frame. So we shall see. Eric, good morning. Good morning, Sterling. All right. So the only thing we had coming out so far was the Chicago Fed National Activity Index. But before we get to that, if you are new here, please do consider subscribing, ringing that bell, and hitting the like button. Longer term viewers, please consider coming back, leaving a comment, and liking the videos. Are you sure there's no shop clause? Has the official agreement been come out yet? Because I haven't seen the official announcement. So until it's official, I don't want to hear what's going on. There's so much stuff that circulates with Elon and everything else that until we get official stuff, unless, that would be surprising if there was no shop clause, that they've already put the shareholder dilution in place. So, but, it is everything related to Elon. Post the exact information, Davey, please. So, Fed Manufacturing Index coming in at 9:30. That is Central Time. So we'll keep an eye on that. And that's pretty much it today. FOMC still that 50 basis point hike. Remember, that is on May 4th, and it is the quiet period for the Fed. And gamma is still negative, which can amplify rallies and sell-offs. Remember, Coke had earnings this morning. They gapping up. I'm going to be watching for a gap play in that. And then after today, not a ton of market moving stuff after the close today, but tomorrow starts getting interesting, so keep that in mind. Good morning, Geo Mission. So getting that little bounce here. You can see there's the S&P off the overnight lows. Good morning, options 22. Coming back, I have the harmonics on from the high back on the 21st to the overnight low. That's the blue lines here. You can see straight that 12.5. The key area I'll really be watching if we do have a breakout play on the open will be 42.61. That's my key area I'm watching. Then I will target the 25% harmonic of the sell-off in the old 62.5 harmonic. So 4291 to 4300, and I'll fine-tune that using intraday harmonics on any rallies. But where does that take us? That just takes us inside the 4-hour rotation zone. So that's my first level, but we really need to get a move on above the 12.5% harmonic where we're pausing right now, and then slightly above the 1-hour rotation zone. So that's what I'm keying off of to the downside. With this extended area, now we have a little extended area to drop the harmonics on. So those are going to be the major harmonics, and the minor harmonics. The minor harmonics coming in about 41.83, and then I have significant level 41.93. So that's the first key area. Then we have the 87.5. I've stressed that so many times. So let's see, 41.67. This is a major cluster area that if we do continue to sell off today, that's what I'm focusing on. So let's see, Davey. Twitter has not been able to secure an agreement with Mosh that allowed to solicit bids once the deal is signed. The sources said still Twitter would be allowed to accept an offer from another party by paying Musk for a breakup fee. And that's standard, but I want to see the official agreement once they put something out. Where did you get that info from? Because I've seen contradictory info. off the street, not in the public sources. So we shall see how that plays out. But either way, there will be a bailout clause, probably still on both sides. So, people just keep going. If you have time, please review gold futures. We will take a look at gold futures. Welcome, Strategy Freeman. So let's see. That's my key lines of sand. So for a breakdown play, 42.18. For the breakout play, above 42.62. And that's going into the open. And really with a breakout play, I need to see some momentum bars to really get a move onto the upside, because remember, we're rolling into a downward sloping rotation zone. I know we've brought up the VIX already. VIX higher. Pre-market next targets 29.60 and 31.01. So it hit this already first target on the double bottom. And let's just check in on the Vixen. And Vixen, next target 35.88. Then above there, I'll be keying off of 37. So that's where we're looking on those two. Nasdaq, let's see here. Again, going to be a very similar pattern in a lot of this stuff. Nasdaq right against this 12.5% harmonic. Breakout play for me then comes roughly above about 13,355. Then I will target that 25% harmonic coming in at 13,458. And let's see, that's just inside the 4-hour rotation zone. So this is why we have all these rotation zones against it now. We've closed below that 62.5, so we do favor lower prices, targeting those lower prices. Can you get a slight little bounce play before? Sure, but that's where I'm focused on with these statistical probabilities. To the downside now, I'm going to update because we have a better pausing area than that area on Friday. So we have to do those ones and the most recent, which then below here I'm going to 13,100, then 13,046. And then major would be right by the prior lows and this cluster around 12,923. Dow also, we could still see that pop, but Dow triggered that double. Remember that double on a daily. So even on a pop, even back to 34,100, 34,000 to 34,100, we'll watch for the rollover play, which then targets 33,130 and 32,835. So this is why I'm still targeting lower prices, because even though it's bouncing off the 62.5 and we don't have the close below that on the Dow, we still have the double top triggered that has hit the first target. So the Dow little breakout play is going to be above 33,700. And then the major area I'd be targeting then would be about 33,812 to 33,850. Breakdown play, I'm just doing, remember we're sitting right at that 62% harmonic. We break below that, I'm going to the next target of the 33,139 area, or about 33,130 for the double, and then the 75% harmonic 32,989. Russell, again, if it bounces, 1940 is the key resistance. Support, just missing that at 1906. But those are the two levels I'm watching there. There's not a lot of other great little longer-term setups on here. We don't have a strong bottoming pattern, just some divergences coming off on the shorter term. DAX, little bounce back, so breakdown play coming to that 37.5% harmonic, now rallying back to 14,065 area. If it does continue higher, my next little area I'm watching for minor resistance is coming in about 14,170. Crude breaking down finally. Back below that 12.5% harmonic, so I'm going to be watching, even on a bounce play, resistance now is about 99.75 to 100, and I'm going to be watching for the longer term retest of 94. Gold Coming back down, again, this is why I stress you want to learn something traded around a core position. I would love to see it get back to 1892, but it's stalling out right at 1900. So anywhere in here for me is a tradable core add, with then a bounce back to about 1940 being a remove. And then the next remove would be 1965. So that's the key level. If it breaks below there, your major next support is about 1878. So 1878 would be an add, and then 1895 to 1900 would be a takeaway. So again, you're trading around the levels because you generally get the back and forth price action until we start getting momentum to the upside. And remember, gold overall is in a huge consolidation pattern. Now we're pulling back to the bottom of the weekly rotation zone, which did get some separation. You have a fair amount of support in this area. So I am watching for that bounce in gold. And that is based off the second month futures. Silver, pretty much the same thing, coming back down to this 23.40. Right now the lows are about 23.50. I'm watching for anything in this 23.28 to 28.40. And then below that is 22.22. Again, also if you take a look at the big picture in here, you see just a major consolidation pattern. Where would I love it to get back down to? About 22.15 would be fantastic. Don't think we'd get there, but your sell level then, if you're picking up some here, can't give you individual trading advice, but what I would be looking to do, picking some up here, and then the prior 24.70 would be the pop level I'd be watching for. Notes, we're finally getting that little rally. We've already come up to test that 50% level I talked about last night. If we continue this rally, 120.05, but this looks like it's trying to put in the longer term bottoming pattern, getting into that daily rotation zone. So I want to see where it closes. Above this little resistance ledge would be really supporting the bullish case. Minor target for me intraday about 120.04. Major target coming in today would be about 120.16. If we do pull back, I'm watching for support about 118.20. Dollar index, again, pushing through the next harmonic level. And without a really good pause, we can update this one to here. But with intermediate would be 101.87, majors 102.37. Key support now is coming back in at 101.05. The double that's never triggered is off the table, so dollar strength continues. Yeah, nothing's changed with the downside targets. That's where we're still going with the same downside targets, options 22. Tesla, we were down below these lows at 975 earlier, pre-market 980. This is still my line in the sand I talked about yesterday, 975. We break below that. I'm targeting 932, then the 200 down to the bottom. If we get a little pop in the morning, the little quick would be a gap play, but nothing really gets bullish until it can get back above 1035, and that would just be a short-term move. So that's where Tesla sits. Coke, which did earnings this morning. You see here trading up a bit. Still watching for the bigger pullback, but this could easily set up either a gap fill play or a rotation. Testing up here. If we get back above during the day session about 66.55, then we do have a potential, because I'm just going to start watching potentially for a slightly bigger pullback in Coke. We're getting some divergences and cycles turning down. So going to keep an eye, but this is still a potential pullback buy if it gets to a decent level. Good morning, Lauren. Good morning. So that's pretty much where we stand. Let's just peek in on Twitter to see where it's pre-trading, 51.24. So still not at 54.20. So we shall have to see how this plays out today. But until I see something official out, then it's all with the rumor sources until there's the official announcement with forms officially filed. Good morning, Sashi. Other than that, not seeing much. Let's just peek in on some of the like where Apple's just trading slightly down pre-market. Microsoft slightly down pre-market, so these aren't back to where they closed on Friday. URI potential double top on the daily. No. Hold on. No. And why it's not reversing a big enough move. So this is where this would be two top area, but you can't use the targets. Why can't you use the targets? Because they extend beyond. This is an important lesson. They extend beyond, and I need the second target to be within the candle body. This is the move that started it, okay? Even your first target is below that move. So breaking down below this level, you have a little clear path move to here. So that would be a target. You break below this. I'm not saying this pivot's not valid, but you can't use double targets. And then you just use harmonic targets. Okay, so I'd be watching in this area, and those aren't, we don't have anything lining up fantastic there. So the other thing I will look at is it's back below the 62.5. So now I do have something. I'll have to search for some little more significance. I'm not going to do that on the live stream, but I have right now my full target would be my intermediate target would be 297.92, so roughly 298, and then down to 288. You can't use the double targets, but you can use this move below here and these intermediate targets based off of that. Twitter price reflective of, I disagree. Davey. It would be trading 54.20 or right in that area. It would not be at 51 still. You are welcome. Thanks, everyone. I will see everyone after the close. So that was a little tip on how we do the levels with the URI. Just want to peek at, what else do I want to peek at? I just want to peek at NVIDIA. NVIDIA lower pre-market. Remember, I'm still watching for lower prices even on a bounce. Meta, I'm just taking a look at some of these mega caps, lower pre-market. So these, we might have some small little gap plays, but then these things could be set to roll over again. That's why I'm checking this out, because mega caps, if you don't get any strength in there, it's just could be a just quick bounce and roll over play. With that, I am wrapping it up. Thank you everyone who would watch this live, and I will be here this afternoon. So we'll see. We'll have follow-up on the Twitter saga. And with today's price action, it's just still be nimble. But remember, with negative gamma, both rallies and sell-offs can be amplified. So do keep that in mind. And it's a quiet news day and quiet earnings after hours. Up or down at the start, I already said what I'm watching for right here. Just based off the S&P, we break above 42.61. I'll watch for the continued bounce. We break below 42.18, the continued sell-off. That's really it. There's nothing good. Longer term, we're against the rotation zone, so I'm watching for a pop. If we do pop, then another rollover play. I'll leave it at that. Thank you, Ahmed, and talk to everyone later. Bye for now.